Hello, gem hunter. Have you ever stopped to think about how many times you've walked past something valuable and not even noticed? And no, I'm not talking about life's opportunities. I'm talking about rocks. Ordinary rocks which seem dirty, dull, useless, but which in reality hide some of the rarest and most valuable gemstones on the planet. That's right. You may have kicked a fortune on the side of the road yesterday without realizing what you were leaving behind. There are at least 5 types of rocks that most people completely ignore that serve as clear signs that there are black opals, rubies, and even diamonds hidden nearby. And the strangest thing, they're everywhere. In your backyard, on trails, along riverbanks, in vacant lots. But no one teaches you how to recognize them. The good news is that today you'll learn to see what no one else sees. And before we delve deeper into this universe, do this. Click the like button below. It shows YouTube that this content is worth your time. And if you enjoy learning the kind of things that can change your perspective on the world, subscribe to the channel right now, because what you'll discover in this video can turn even a casual stroll into a real treasure hunt. While most pursue the brilliance of pre-cut gemstones, few realize that true wealth begins in the most raw and clumsy form possible. Nature, wise and silent, hides its greatest treasures within what appears imperfect. A colorless, shapeless piece of stone left in the ground as if worthless. But is it really? Since ancient times, those who have observed the earth with reverence have known the value of a rock lies not in what it reveals on the outside, but in what it holds within. It's no wonder that shamans, prospectors, and even alchemists have always treated stones with respect. They weren't looking for beauty, they were looking for essence. And that essence is often hidden by layers of earth, mud, and carelessness. It's like in life. How many people have missed a great opportunity simply because it seemed too ugly at first glance? The secret, then, isn't having trained eyes, but a different perspective. Because it is this gaze that begins to decipher the silent codes of the earth, and to find, amidst the dust, the brightness that no one expected. Most people don't even realize it, but there are 5 types of rocks that function like veritable treasure maps, but most have never learned to read them. They're simple rocks, often broken, dark, porous, and even ugly. And that's precisely why they go unnoticed. But here's the secret. These rocks are like hidden vaults, only revealing their valuables to those who know what to look for. Kimberlito, for example, looks like a crumbled stone, but it's the mother rock of diamonds. Yes, the same diamonds that shine in display cases and cost a fortune. Vesicular basalt, full of fossilized holes, seems useless, but it offers clues to the presence of noble green minerals, such as peridot. In other words, while some people dismiss these stones without paying attention, others have learned to recognize them as the first sign that something much larger is hidden there. Now imagine walking down a random trail, seeing a dark rock with a greenish tint, and not paying attention. It could have been a peridotito. And if you had known this, perhaps your story would have changed at that moment. This rock is formed at extreme depths in the earth, and upon reaching the surface can bring with it gemological quality olivine crystals. It is these rare conditions that make peridotite such a valuable clue. Another example is porous volcanic rock, the one full of microholes, light and rough, often overlooked. But in areas with ancient volcanic activity, this rock can be the perfect hiding place. Black opals, one of the rarest and most valuable gemstones in the world. And finally, we have the rocks with opaline quartz, which shimmer subtly in the light, as if concealing a mineral spell. These stones, despite appearing ordinary, can contain everything from transparent amethysts to topaz ready for cutting. These rocks don't just appear in exotic or pristine locations. They're found along mountain trails, in areas with visible erosion, near dry riverbanks, and even along roadsides. What changes isn't the location, but the perspective. While one person sees only gravel and dirt, another sees geological evidence dating back millions of years. This happens because these rocks were formed under extreme conditions: pressure, heat, shifting tectonic plates, and each one bears scars and clues to where the world's most coveted minerals may be hidden. And since you're here immersed in this rare knowledge, take advantage and click the like button below. This simple gesture helps this video reach more people who, like you, are beginning to see what previously went unnoticed. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now is the time, because there's much more to come. And note, this journey doesn't require expensive equipment or access to remote locations. Many discoveries began with a simple walk, a closer look, an ultraviolet flashlight, and a notebook. Some people have specialized in identifying these stones and now collect precious fragments found in completely ordinary places. It's as if the earth whispers, "There's something here," but only those who have learned its language can understand. And the most intriguing thing is that many of these discoveries happen by accident. A stone kicked along the trail, a cracked rock that reveals a strange glow, an unusual texture. In moments like these, everything changes. And those who explored only as a hobby find themselves faced with a real possibility of turning this into a valuable asset. If 5 such common rocks can hold such profound secrets, imagine how many others go unnoticed every day. It's as if the world were full of unlocked safes, waiting for someone with the right key, which, in this case, is knowledge. And this knowledge isn't unattainable. It's being revealed now, here. The next step is to understand how to recognize these signs more accurately. Texture, density, color, reaction to light. All of this can guide you to surprising discoveries. But to do so, you need to go beyond curiosity. It's time to put this knowledge into practice, on the ground, on the trail, in the field. Because it's no use just knowing that a rock can hide a treasure. You need to learn how to actually find it. Sometimes what separates someone from a valuable discovery is simply knowing where to look and how to look. The first thing you need to understand is that identifying potential rocks doesn't require magic or expensive equipment. It starts with visual training. Kimberlite, for example, has a grainy texture and a dark color, usually gray to dark green, with internal fragments that appear dirty, but, upon closer inspection, contain small crystals. Vesicular basalt resembles a petrified sponge, light, full of small holes, like an aerated stone. Peridotite, on the other hand, tends to be denser, with an oily appearance and a greenish hue. If you find a strange, heavy stone with a distinct texture or a subtle sheen when wet, don't ignore it. Take it with you. Keep a basic kit, a UV flashlight, a neodymium magnet, a magnifying glass, and a small bowl of water to test reflections. The secret is in the details, and the more you train your eye, the more those details scream. Now let's talk about location. These rocks aren't hidden at the end of the rainbow. They appear in the most unlikely places, but they follow patterns. Mountain trails, road cuts, dry riverbanks, valleys with visible erosion, slopes where the earth has been disturbed. These are all promising locations. A particularly interesting place is near visible geological cracks or in areas that have experienced recent landslides as ground movement exposes deeper layers. Another practical tip: notice where the soil has a different color, especially if it's grayish, greenish, or reddish. These are clues to mineral activity. If you're in a region with a history of volcanic or tectonic activity, pay close attention. And one more thing. Keep an eye out for areas where microcrystals or shiny fragments appear in the soil. These are indirect signs of something larger buried nearby. And if you're enjoying these tips, leave a like below. It shows YouTube that this type of content deserves to reach more people. But finding the rock isn't enough. You need to know what to do with it. And that's where strategy comes in. Before you go out and collect everything that shines, record the stones you find, take photos, note the location, altitude, and conditions. Use free GPS apps like Gaia GPS or AllTrails to mark discovery points. This will help you cross-reference information if you find similar signs elsewhere. Oh, and about the magnet test. If the stone reacts, it may contain metals associated with gem formation. UV light reveals traces of quartz, opal, and fluorite. If you find internal cracks with a subtle glow or color variations, even small ones, take note. This is how a technical eye is formed. Little by little, what seemed like beginner's luck becomes systematic and potentially profitable knowledge. Finally, many people ask, is it legal to collect rocks this way? In public areas, small amounts for educational or recreational purposes are generally permitted, but always respect signs, reserves, and private property. Avoid digging or breaking rocks in sensitive areas. Collecting 1 or 2 samples responsibly is sufficient for later analysis. If you find something with an unusual shine or crystallized internal structure, save it, protect it, and, if possible, send it for analysis to a geological laboratory or local museum. There are even online mineral identification groups, such as forums or social media communities, where experts help with preliminary analyses. And feel free to comment below. Have you ever found a strange rock that later turned out to be valuable or unusual? Share your story with us, or your question. 2. Your comment may inspire or help others who are just beginning this journey. Often Earth doesn't reveal its secrets directly. It uses subtle, almost poetic clues. While everyone focuses solely on the rocks, they forget to notice the rest of the landscape. Plants, insects, water movements, soil patterns, everything speaks volumes. In regions with intense mineral activity, for example, specific vegetation often emerges, such as lichens that adhere only to certain types of rock or mosses that thrive in alkaline minerals. In volcanic soils, some plants sprout more vigorously, as if they knew the soil was rich in silica, iron, or magnesium. On rocky riverbanks, certain insects often burrow near porous rocks, and this behavior can indicate residual heat sources or the presence of moisture-retaining minerals. Nature doesn't provide a ready-made map, but rather scatters small clues, as if to say, pay attention to the whole, not just the details. And once you begin to decipher these clues, you can walk anywhere like a true Earth decoder. This kind of look is rare but completely trainable. The key is to notice silent patterns. A type of plant that only grows where there is iron, reddish soil mixed with crystalline fragments, and a different color in the water that touches a particular rock. Even the smell of the environment changes, in some cases. In areas rich in opal, for example, dry soil can release a metallic aroma after rain, a subtle clue that goes unnoticed by those without natural hearing. Furthermore, small animals also give signals. Some birds seek out areas with loose gravel to nest, precisely where there are fragments that reflect light, an indirect indicator of the presence of gemstones. What seems random begins to make sense when you see everything as an ecosystem of signals. The rock is only part of the story. And when you combine minerals with plants and animals, you begin to approach the true language of the earth. And then, my friend, a new world opens before you. And what comes next can transform the way you live and see everything around you. How many times have you let something slip by, simply because it seemed ugly, dull, or too ordinary? Life is adept at disguising value with mere appearance. How many friendships have you lost by judging too quickly? How many opportunities have you missed because they didn't arrive packaged as you expected? What we're learning here with rocks is much more than geology. It's a philosophy of life. Today's ignored rock can be tomorrow's revealed treasure. The same goes for ideas, people, and paths. Nature teaches us a powerful lesson. It hides beauty and value where almost no one has the patience to look. And this is worth its weight in gold, literally. When you begin to see beyond the shell, when you understand that appearance is not synonymous with essence, everything changes. You begin to perceive richness in places where before you only saw rough stone. This shift in perspective isn't just for hunting rare gems. It's for finding meaning where there seemed to be none. And therein lies true power, seeing the extraordinary in what the world has dismissed as ordinary. If you've made it this far, it's because something inside you has already begun to change. Perhaps for the first time you're realizing that the world hides much more than meets the eye. And now I want to invite you to take a step forward. Right here in the comments, I watch the stones, to show that you're part of this group that decided to see where others simply pass by. This isn't just a phrase, it's a choice. It's the beginning of a new mindset. And if you felt this video opened your eyes in any way, like it now. This simple gesture shows the algorithm and me that this knowledge resonates with you. And hey, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because the journey is just beginning. By the way, a video titled, "These 3 common stones could be worth a fortune. Find out how to identify them," is playing on the screen. Click here, because there I'll show you how to continue this discovery in practice. Go ahead, your gaze will never be the same. See you later, Gem Hunter.